What, Tammy? Hello, everybody. I know it's kind of early in the morning. I've been up all night. Is there anybody awake yet? There's 3 people awake. That there's the Danny Stephen Hodges channel. You don't ever hear about it too much. Hey, Missy. Missy, have you been to bed or you just got up early? We having a hard time getting a crowd in here this morning at 6:30. Up early. Hey, that's really the best way to do. If you don't work, it don't matter, but it's really the best way to be on the time clock with everybody else in the world. I don't know. I just decided to get on here. I always got a lot of stuff to say. I don't have to think too much of nothing to say. I've been up all night. Hey, Tasha. Good morning, Danny. How are you? And everyone else. Hope you're having a blessed day. I'm having a blessed day and a blessed night. I hadn't been to sleep. Tammy come in and hung with me for a little while. They got back from the mountains yesterday. Them dogs was going back to bed, Tim. Said she going back to bed. Them dogs, the first day they was gone, first day, Tammy and them was gone, they like run through the house about every 15 minutes. And like they so psyched up about Tammy gonna come back in a few minutes. And then the second day they didn't do it as much, and then the third day they done give up. Yeah, Tammy made it back. She made it back. I ain't talked to Steven. Man, but I ain't talked to nobody. I was up all night long watching videos. It seems like to me there's a lot of older people making videos. Like retired people. And they doing pretty good too. I don't know. It's about like my daddy said one time, you're either doing good or you're doing bad. I was watching a man a little bit earlier. He's living in a camper. And I mean, he had to sell his house to pay, you know, for his wife's, you know, funeral and mom and daddy. And I mean, it sounded like he was in debt pretty bad to me. That you would? And he's living in a camper that's less square foot than my pontoon boat. Hey, good night, Timmy. uh, he's living in a 23-foot camper. You know, done got old. And my camper's 26 foot. I mean, not my camper, my pontoon boat is 26 foot long. So he's living in a 22-foot camper. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. He just started this channel, and I mean, like a month ago, and he's doing good. But he's kind of sitting here talking about stuff, you know, stuff like I talk about. Ain't really doing nothing, but you know, I mean, people just takes to him, you know. William, you need to get off that vertical, boy. It'll ruin your channel. Ain't gonna go all into it, but it'll it'll mess up your average view duration. Stephen had to learn the hard way. All that hard work he done. And let's see. Let me finish up about the man. And I mean, he said he was an engineer. I think he got hurt. He went 3 years without a check, and you know, just bad luck. He said, you know, he was on top of the world, you know, and then it just all come to an end. And but I mean, I'm pretty sure that camper's going. Hey, he might stay in that camper, but the way his channel's going, he probably won't have to be in that camper long because you can make some money on here, y'all. You can make some money. It's very hard to do. Very hard to do. But some people can just get on here and go with it, and then mine's real slow go. Uh, my channel's real slow go. Tammy's doing pretty good. Tammy's channel's doing pretty good. That's why I don't want to mess with her channel. I will still be on there with her some, but I ain't gonna put no more videos on there, you know, myself. I was you know, if it's working, don't mess it up, you know. So I get over here and mess up my own channel. I've been watching your channel, Danny. I like watching your channels, and I have been sharing your channels. What's everybody around them? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, Tasha. I didn't know that. That right there's what I'm showing is that's my Danny Stephen Hodges channel. That was my first original channel. I about forgot about it up there on the screen. But, you see how you see on the left there how the views go high? That's what happened to channels at night, y'all. And the views go down at night. You know, I mean, the United States goes to sleep. It's like right now we got 17 people. People sleep, you know, at night. It don't never completely stop, but it's already starting to get kicked in there now. But man, uh, you can't believe what everything you hear on YouTube about start a channel, you know. I don't believe, y'all, that at my age, because that I could start a YouTube channel. Because when I started, it was about 13 years ago, and I had the drive and determination, and I would take all day long making a video, sometimes 2 days. You know, uh, you gotta have that eye of the tiger. These lives is pretty easy, you know. To but like, like not very many people's, especially the younger people, they don't care about this right here, And I mean, y'all, I got plenty to say, it's all jumbling around up there. But, I was watching them older people. They was people from 58 right on up to, 78. And I already start your own channel and put it out there for the world to see. I've been wanting to know. I guess it's real hard, but it's doable, Tasha. And you can make money, it's oh if you got the right personality, and it's really like you gotta be real, You gotta be real, and you gotta be willing to share your life and stuff. But it's and like I say, I mean, some people can hey Bloomer, some people can start and just do real good, pretty quick. And then, some people like, probably most people, I just imagine most people just give up. And like grandma, she's always complaining about she hadn't got time. But don't buy into that too much for the simple reason, oh, not that she don't have time. I ain't saying that. I mean, you got to hear what I'm saying to understand what I'm saying. YouTube, she enjoys YouTube. She might complain about ain't got much time, but that don't mean she don't enjoy doing YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? She enjoys doing that. And, it gives you something to do. You know, the man that I seen in that camper, he said he go 5 or 6 days without even talking to anybody. And, you know, and then when he talked to somebody, then it would be the waitress at the restaurant. Didn't, oh, you know, I mean, he didn't see nobody. Let me see what this message is. Here you go. Okay. Yeah, hey, I hadn't looked at it in a while, but I knew it was doing good. You know, you don't ever know. Oh, you hear me talking about it sometimes. It's kind of like a hit record, you know. You make videos and stuff, and you don't ever know when a video is going to be a good video. Just like a songwriter, they don't ever know if a song's going to be any good or not. You know, there was a band called Nazareth, and they had Love Hurts on one side. And the other side, I don't know what the name of the song is, but they was both like real big hits. And they try not to do that, but they thought Love Hurts wasn't no good. And Kiss done Beth on one side, and then Rock and Roll All Night Party Every Day on the other side. So they didn't know. I mean, that just like cost millions of dollars, you know, to make a mistake like that. You know, uh, me and Grandma kind of started in good times. And that don't mean it was just easy. We worked now. We paid our dues. Because it was hard then too, you know, but I think it's even harder now. They say it ain't, but I believe it is. That they say it ain't. They say it's easier than ever. I don't believe that. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And everybody would be making money. And hey there, Pamela. Oh, you know, I started out making them antennas, you know. And I was gonna make me an antenna. And I made me one and everything, and I looked on YouTube and I seen that it was just wide open. They had people making antennas and stuff, but they didn't know what they was doing. And they didn't know how to explain what they was doing. And they didn't understand what they was doing. I swear, y'all, it seemed like to me, I swear it seemed like to me like some of these people that I just run across their video, it seemed like they watching me. It's because 80% of the population don't know you can make money on YouTube. Yeah, I know that. I know that. I've heard people talking about that before. But it, hey, boy, it's rough now. I mean, I'm getting it rough right here on this channel. You know, 22 people watching. It's rough now. But like some of these people that start out live, and you see it all the time if you're looking, they'll be live and nobody watching. 'Cause it'll say how many people's watching. And a bunch of them don't have nobody watching. And people like talking and stuff. Like I talk way too slow, you know. I was watching that video that I doing uh yesterday night, whatever it was, day before yesterday. And I know what Grandma was talking about me talking slow. So far I've only done shorts open to one day do video. Hey, one thing for sure, you know, you don't ever know unless you try. I lost my train of thought there, but I took that video that I done, you know, night before last or something, and people was watching that video now pretty good, and I kept waiting for the views to die down because I was gonna put it on private. I was planning on putting it on private, and I just had to cut some people off, you know. There was people watching it whenever I cut it off, but I mean, I just had to cut it off. Timmy done gone back to bed. And you know, I got on here and made a, you know, after I done that video, then I made a video for Steven. Like these Social Security, I paid in thousands. He was right about Social Security. I paid in thousands to up it. Yeah, William like, they like William, they base it on what the last 2 years you worked, you know. And that's why I didn't get much, cause, and I mean, sometimes I would work hard, and sometimes I would take off, you know. I want to tell y'all, I was telling y'all on my video that if I told you how you could make $2,000 a month, would you listen? Oh, I mean, I do know a lot, y'all. And I seen somebody on the comments, you know, in the chat say, they said, yeah, cash. If I could make that much cash. Nobody wants it to affect their check, is what it, you know, that's what that was about, you know. You can't make too much money, you know, if you do. They, you know, I don't know what they do, but you can't make too much money, but But uh, you can make $2,000 a month and it not affect your check. I just didn't tell y'all how you do it, you know. You about have to start out right. And I probably shouldn't tell y'all this. But I mean, I don't know if you do particularly like it. But to get started getting paid, you have to put in a pretty good bit of information. But like, hey Jody, but like say your son or your daughter who put it all in their name. They get the money and give it to you. I know you'd have to pay taxes and I mean, there's a certain amount you'd have to do, you know. But that would be the way you could do it and not affect your check. If you just starting, you probably ain't got to worry about it too much. I watched a video where yeah, if everybody shared it, it would help. If everybody shared the channel, that's really like the way you get, big people sharing. But and you have a lot of people, that just like, just don't want to help you none. A matter of fact, they want to hurt you. They don't want you to make no money. I ain't never understood that. Hey, Betty. So I was watching a man one time. He worked for YouTube, and it wasn't a Google video, but he was with a man that made videos. But he was from Google, and man, it seems like there's only about 3 million people that make money. And when I say make money, that don't mean they making a bunch. And I mean they liable only be making $25 a month. And then, I mean, some people like just make a ridiculous amount of money. The lady working at the Social Security office must have got fired from McDonald's. Yeah, William B. Be getting all of your ducks in line up. Here's one thing about me, y'all. I never thought about getting old. I never thought about retiring. And when Tim was talking about retiring, I said, what? And I'm retiring, you know. Oh, it took her saying, I'm ready. I can't, I can't hardly do it no more. And boy, you don't, I mean, when you're young, you just don't think about that. I heard one of the men on there talking about, young folks don't like old folks. And I heard another man talking about it too. I watched videos all night long last night. Hodges don't get old age, it's a number, and yours is unlisted. I don't know, William. I slowed up, old buddy. I've slowed up. But yeah, I mean, and I believe that's true, y'all. I don't know if the younger folks respect the old folks like they should. And I know that we shouldn't get treated like we do. Like, and, I mean, and this is what I'm talking about, William. Man, old folks get thrown out in the pasture, boy. And I mean, man, they catching trouble, And some folks got plenty of money, but probably most folks don't, you know. They just live month to month. And it's get treated bad. And then the folks that come over here, y'all know what I'm talking about. They give them a card, man. And it took me a little while to figure that out, but I figured it out. Because like nobody didn't know why. Why did they want these people in here? And and like it's in the news now. They not saying it on the news, but it's about this districting. What's going on in Texas. That's nothing new. But they put a lot of people in that city. Like I think it's Illinois. I looked at it. I seen it on the news. They were showing there's 3 Republican uh congressmen or whatever it is in the whole state. And hell, the rest of them's Democrats. And that's because of that redistricting. And it's a mess. I mean, you're about that whole state's red. And that's why they like trying to do that because It's out of whack. Icky me. I don't know either. I guess so. Man, that's about crazy. Spare the rod and spoil the child. They get time out nowadays and no respect. Yeah. You see what them two people got? Well, it ain't even a good thing to talk about. Yeah, and I mean, you don't have, you would think you could just say anything you want to say, but you, you have to be careful what you say. So that's the craziest thing. Hey, them people's going at it, boy. Like they are fighting, boy. Them Republicans and Democrats. It'd be hell, wouldn't it? To like wake up and that's what's on your mind every day. Who's gonna be in power and keeping in power? Lord of mercy. You know, they fired one of them late nights, and I think there's a nudding pit to go down too, you know, but they still under contract for a little while. And that Howard Stern went from about 20 million people listening to him to 100,000 because of his crazy mind. And he's like got a real big opinion. He went from 20 million people listening to 100,000. I mean, he probably ain't gonna be up there on there much longer. William had his channel going real good. Oh, when he started, what he done, y'all, was I had told William, if you can think of a video that ain't never been made, even if it's not even that good of a video, it'll get a bunch of views. But actually, William had a good idea, and then I helped him with the video, editing it and everything. And sure enough, he started getting views like quick. If you can think of a video that ain't never been done, and I mean, I can think of quite a few, but I just hadn't done it or got around to it or whatever. But I helped William with about 3 videos, and his channel was going good. His channel like started, man, like you wouldn't believe. He was making money quick, and, but I mean, I was helping mama, and I was doing my own videos and stuff, and then I got a life too, and, I was having to drive out there to help him, and I mean, I just had to quit, and I don't see how he stands it. Uh, like, his whole life, he's pushed for time ever since I've known him. I mean, hell, man, he can't do this because he's got to do that. And like when he's sitting there doing the one thing, he's got 30 other things to do. 30. Yeah, I made William a video showing him how to do everything and how to upload and all that. He just ain't no computer person. And hell, really, first thing you got to do is you kind of got to be familiar with a computer. He's got a computer, y'all, but uh, I mean, he's just not no YouTube guru. He knows how to go to eBay and watch videos and do the emails and stuff like that. He's about like mama. But I always hated it for William because he's never seen somebody with limited time like he does. Hey, he works all night a lot, all day and all night. And his mama, he was having to look after his mama. That's right, William. What I mean? Eh, William didn't have, William had very little help with his mama. Very little. And, I never heard him complain. I just want to let y'all know that I never heard him complain. Not one time. But, and I've been out there with him fortnight. Like high class people coming there, he's doing their camper. That woman was raising hell. Matter of fact, I know you remember who they was, William. They, them same people, yeah, her son-in-law owned that body shop down there. Stephen went and gave an estimate on their house and got the job. And I told him, I said, don't take that job. I said, you don't want to get started with them people. You don't want the money. Because I seen how the woman was out there at Williams. I don't know who in their right mind would want to put up that woman. You remember who I'm talking about, William? I went out there at Williams one time. His two grandboys was out there. Hey, William was gone or he was working or something. I was walking around looking at all that stuff he got out there. He bought a bus. Like I reckon it might have been, okay, William. He bought a bus or something. Not a school bus. I think it was nicer than a school bus, but his grand young is like, he done worked on it hard, boy. He cut the whole top of that bus out and raised it up. Like where you got big ceiling. I mean, just spent like hundreds of hours getting it ready. And then the windows he was going to put in, he had a bunch of windows. A storm come out there and busted all his windows up. Tree fell on it. William made a good living, y'all. But he could never get nobody to sit in his seat at that sewing machine. You make a good living if you doing it yourself. Now it's impossible to hire somebody that knows what William knows. But you can get some people in there, but like then you ain't making no money. That was the problem I had with making antennas. As long as I was making them myself, me and Tammy, we was making money. And then it got so big I had to have help. And after I got help, I was still making money. But it's just like I was telling you about William. Oh, it ain't enough. Be paying somebody, it ain't enough. I watched a video about that oh, reverse mortgage where Tom Selleck, is on there talking about this is not something to take your house. It is too. Don't none of y'all do that. There's a bunch of stuff in the fine paperwork. There's a bunch of details. Like, for one thing, if you forget to pay your homeowner's insurance, it's theirs. I think that's what happened to the man that was staying in the camper. Cause he was doing a video about that. And then, like, just say you get $80,000 worth of equity out of your house. And they got a bunch of stuff they do, and like it'll cost like $20,000 before you even get the money. And it'll come out of that 80,000. Now what, two old men, and I mean old men, I'm talking about like uh I mean like, my just a little older than me. And I believe they might watch one another's video because they both talking about the same thing. Like they thinking about when they're no longer here. It like the son don't care about all the stuff they got. The daughter don't care about all the stuff they got. So they like trying to clean everything up and get rid of stuff, and which actually is uh pretty hard to do. And then like see that man, well, both men, they got stuff that belonged to their mama and daddy. And I mean, what do you throw away? You know what I mean? What do you throw away of your mom and daddy's that? And then it's, I mean, and then it's your mom and daddy's, and then they getting up in age. The youngins don't, his youngins don't care nothing about it. Really don't mean nothing to them. And believe it or not, I'm actually like grandma. I'm sentimental about stuff you give me. And grandma's real bad, and I'm bad enough. I don't need to be no worse than what I am. And we lost a lot of stuff in the fire. I've tried to, like, see good out of that, but I don't see good out of that. Are you sentimental about the truck? Well, not that much about that truck. Not that much about the truck, but it's still sitting over there. I'm pretty much talking about like stuff your mama give you or your daddy give you, so I'm talking about all your youngins, you know, which I'm sure you probably talking about the same thing. Oh, like, yeah, I know you was joking. I know you was joking about the truck, but I am like at you now. And I don't know why I want to throw this in because it does mean something to me. Uh, when Tammy got back, she said, "You didn't hardly eat nothing." That's because Grandma was bringing me food. And y'all, that's what everybody says is wrong with me. Hey, I mean, all my life I've been looked after, man. Grandma cooked me a big old hamburger steak, brung it up here. I ain't never ate one that tastes like that in my life. Then the next day said, I got a big old pot of stew beef. And I'd already been thinking about, like getting up and, about ready to eat. She called up. I said, yeah, I want it. And I ate. But she brung a lot. I ate it, and while she was here, I ate some. And I said, uh, just set the bowl over there. And I said, I'll eat it, later. And I did. I wound up eating it all. And, and also another thing I want to make a correction on. I exempt Mama from being a YouTube expert. And I might say something to Tammy, I might say something to Steven, but I exempt Mama. And she's doing good to get on there. And oh man, sometimes I'm half asleep, when I'm trying to get her thumbnail. Like yesterday, Tuesday morning, she took a picture. She was in an orange shirt. I said, all right, orange shirt. So I downloaded her picture and then I put it in this program to put live on it. She likes for the cross to be on it and stuff like that. Sometimes I put writing on it. Sometimes I don't. And I fixed a thumbnail for her and I downloaded it. And I went in there and I was about half asleep. And I don't know if she caught it or not. But she had that same shirt on in another video, and I put the wrong one in there. And I done shut the laptop off and everything, and I come over here to do just like y'all doing. I went in there just to watch. I said, man, I didn't put the cross on that side. I change it up a little bit every now and then because I don't want y'all to think it's the same video that you've already seen. I said, man, I put the wrong thumbnail on there because I put the cross on the other side. So I had to open that slow laptop. She's done told me about 4 or 5 times to get another. And see, I can do stuff faster than a computer can do it. Not necessarily my computer, but her computer that I work with is pretty old. And I can do stuff faster than what it can process. I had to open that son of a gun back up. And go in there, but I was a little more awake then. Hey, Sea Breeze, I don't guess I seen you in a while. But I got it straightened out, y'all. She knew I changed it when she went to her tablet, but I don't even think she called I put the wrong picture on there. I don't even think she even caught it because it was the same shirt. But I just seen that orange shirt and I went for it. And I didn't even notice that it was the wrong one. But hey, y'all, I mean, I don't, uh, I cut out eating them sweets. And I mean, I'm somebody like that, that just quit. Or, like quit something I'm wanting to do, or, something I've been doing, or I'll just quit. And I don't, I don't believe I eat as much as I used to. Hey, sometimes I'm starving where I eat a lot, but I don't believe I eat as much as I used to. But Tammy and Grandma, they look out at me now. But I've always been looked after. Always been looked after. Oh, I see that there, Sea Breeze, yeah. And I guess probably a lot of people's like me. When you're young, like you don't think about getting old. And I'm glad Steven's over there across the road. And believe it or not, y'all, we don't call him up every 5 minutes, trying to get him to come do something. We know he has a life and we don't we don't just call him. Matter of fact, I don't hardly call him. He don't want me calling you know, every day talking about what you're doing. So I don't know when I really don't know when I talked to him last. He was real. I do know he was disappointed about Brian coming in there on the video. Uh, he was disappointed about that. I mean, I seen Brian say on chat, I mean, it's been a while back, they was gonna come and they didn't ever come. And then the next thing I know, everything done went bad. And I mean, y'all, Stephen can't be everybody's best friend. And I mean, like if we only had one friend, I reckon it could be. But everybody wants a little piece of them. Danny, you're not old, just getting smarter and wiser. Hey, William, I mean, I believe that, William, about, but like, I am getting older, William. I'm not active. Oh, I'm not active like you are, William. And, I mean, it's the weather, I mean, mainly. I mean, I just ain't gonna go out. I just ain't gonna go outside and try to do nothing, in this hot weather. I mean, I don't want to. And William, I want you to get where you can get on this thing and talk, man. I mean, I bet you they sell them mic and things that clip on your ear. I used to see people at the gym, and they was talking on the phone the whole time. And I mean, they was at the gym. They was talking to somebody on the phone. A lot of times, a lot of times I thought they was talking to me. Danny, are you worried about this hurricane coming? I heard about it, Betty, but I mean, I don't know about it. And that's how it is. I mean, I heard about it, but then I don't know about it. So but I can tell you this right here: if it's anything like it was that last time, I'm not gonna be here. Me and Tammy get in the camper and go somewhere. And that was I mean, I usually don't. Weather usually don't scare me, but that last thing that come through here, man. I mean, oh hell was breaking loose, man. Tammy said she felt this trailer, oh, shift, and I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like that. Near about every telephone pole, was twisted. I mean, not just blowed down, twisted like a match, from here to town. And then other people's like talking about, uh, you know, when they're gonna have the power on, when they're gonna have the power on. Man, I knew it was gonna be a long time. But we actually made out pretty good, 'cause uh I had a generator. I already had a generator, and I went out there and cranked that thing 100 times. And it messed up, and then we was without a generator, but uh Stan went and bought some generators. Steven said, Stan going to buy some generators. Do you want one? I said, man, yeah. I mean, the power was off in this whole town. And I got a wire run that runs to the fuse panel in my house. We plugged that thing up, and we made it good. The refrigerator stayed cold. A lot of people lost a bunch of stuff. Lost everything in their freezer. And they've given away about $500 if you lost your stuff, but me and Jamie's honest people, we didn't go put a claim in, that we lost our stuff, but we didn't lose our stuff in the refrigerator. I don't want no bad money. I kind of don't believe in that kind of thing. There's a price to pay, for bad money. Yeah. Well, man, I'll do what needs to be done around here, but I used to do a lot more than what I do now. I was looking at that comment there. But y'all, like getting older and everything. Cause see, I've been thinking about that a little more. And then I was watching these videos last night and stuff, but I already been thinking about it a little bit. You go do a job and you can get hurt, get disabled. And they don't want you no more. And it just don't, that just don't seem right to me, y'all. That you work for a company and when that horse can't pull the wagon as good as it used to. They don't want you no more. And then I didn't ever draw disability. I might have could have, y'all. 'Cause I do got a bad back. But like people have to go to court. And like just bicker and get a lawyer for you to get your money. And I mean, I know that I do know that like that was out there where Tammy was working at. I knew it was taking a toll on her, you know. And I knew that I noticed she wasn't as sharp as she usually is. And she don't claim to be real smart and everything, you know. But I seen somebody on chat, you know, she was talking one day, and I seen somebody on chat said, it'd probably take you about a month for your mind to get clear. And I thought that was interesting, you know. And that happened, yo. Or mine did clear up. You won't believe what it cost. Because she's no longer, I just heard Stephen leaving, taking the Bentley to school. She's not no longer thinking about work. Well, she's like a company person. Oh, real devoted. And I say she don't have to think about it no more. And like I say, I want to make this a point to you. You would not believe what it cost when she's no longer thinking about work. I'm going to tell you, but I just want you to get what I'm saying. She has more time to think, see? And she has a little depression in her. A little bit. It might even be more than a little bit, really. I mean, but it's not real bad, you know. Well, she'll, you know, I mean, she'll snap out of it, you know. It it comes and goes, and I usually try to talk a little more to her, you know, when I notice she's acting like that, you know. I usually try to talk to her a little bit more, but hey, could I do that now, William? But anyway, y'all, I mean, So, like how I'm always thinking everything. Well, it give her more time to think. And I've heard her saying some stuff that I thought was long time ago forgot about. When you ain't working, you do have more time to think. When I was working roofing houses, that was near about all I thought about. I always had somebody you needed to call. Always. I mean, I hated to even listen to the answer machine. I still have dreams about that. Like, hope there ain't no calls on there. Like, hey, thank you, William. You too, buddy. Yeah, and it ain't, to me, I know it's necessary, y'all. I know it is. But it ain't never seemed right to me. I mean, I've always thought like this. It ain't never seemed right to go be a slave for somebody else. And they don't even appreciate it. Damn, I made a mistake to send her home for 3 days. And, I think they've done that to her 2 times. But that last time they done it, she's about ready to get out then. And she was, I do know that her plans was to work 65. Her original plans. Now, the main people out there at that place was dropping like flies, man. It got that place is stressful. It ain't you can relax and you're always being pushed. You know, I've told y'all about it before, but I didn't ever know if I made it clear. the stuff they working on, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. It's an emergency. It's got to go. I mean, do you realize what they telling them people? It's got to go. It's got to ship. And they putting everybody. I need to go out there and talk to them people. I need to go out there and talk to the managers. And I mean, when they telling Tammy that right there, I mean, she's like this. And I mean, like, I would just start trembling. It's got to go. But then if you push something through, it ain't perfect. And that stuff that's right there where she were at. It had to be perfect. Then they would send you on for 3 days. The people that's telling you it's got to go is still out there working. And still out there working. When you telling a bunch of women it's got to go. I mean, they can be like just a piece of chip paint. Uh, uh, just be a chip in the paint. Or they made stuff for like the army and you know, Bowen, Lockheed, and Martin. That company's big time. You could always tell when something's going on. I would ask Tammy, because like she worked overtime and stuff. Sometimes she did, and she has worked it a lot. But I could always tell when something was going on, like war wise, because that's when they would have them working the hardest. You know, you might not be hearing about it on the news and stuff like that too much, but yeah, a lot of times, then you would wind up hearing about it on the news. I mean, man, I think like I remember about 3 people like doing themselves in at out there where she worked at. I mean, to me, that's insane. I mean, like, hey man, didn't you know you was gonna need this part right here before this week? I mean, if if you don't want to get somewhere early, I mean late, instead of trying to run over everybody, leave 5 damn minutes earlier than what you leaving. You don't wait till it's an emergency. Get it through. And I mean, I just never understood that whole thing. When I worked, y'all, when I roofed houses, I would give me a few days in between here and there. I go give my estimate, and I say, I can't start until 2 weeks. I said, that'll be all right. I'd take 2 weeks off. Some of the crew I had, I would pay them, some of them, if I didn't work. But it wasn't many that I done that to. And but anyway, like getting back to the thing about getting old, I mean, about everybody that Mama knew, is gone. And and that man, talking about like, I didn't say nothing. Tammy all the time, she thinks I'll call her name out all the time. She thinks about me in her sleep. And I mean, I actually thought about this a little bit. People getting on YouTube, people watching YouTube, and people watching Mama and Tammy. They can get on there and chat. And then, and I mean, that's probably not a bunch of people coming to see uh these people. And I never, I'm never talking about everybody because I know that it's when you're talking, it's never everybody. But like, understand what I'm saying. You, y'all have made friends uh on YouTube. You can go in there and chat with your friends, and then when that live's over, it's over. you can go watch somebody else, and you like not have no friends in there like you do in our community, and y'all were really nice to open your home to people to have it awful how some of the people were jealous of y'all and Stephen. That still kind of amazes me there. Oh, I made a video for Stephen on that put on his channel. and and I mean not many people watched it. And you know, that's something I have a hard time understanding. A lot of the people, uh leave. It seems like to me that people that want to start a YouTube channel wind up mad with you. And I mean, hell, I don't get it. I don't I don't understand that. But they do. I mean, a lot of them do. And like Brian. I mean, I don't know if y'all seen that video, but he come in the chat, talking trash. Like doing little drive-bys. And see, I know he started a channel. And then, there's other people too. I watched a video you made of Steven, and I liked it. I don't understand cause they watch and take away from you. Yeah, me. And I mean, a lot of times when people will wind up like being your worst enemy. Like, look at Reverend Dream, though. Y'all, I mean, and, I about stopped it. I about stopped everybody from doing it. Uh, there's new people doing it now, but they don't know. They don't know about promoting their channel. They don't know about that, but that's just it. Might sound harmless to you, but people just don't do that. You don't go stand in front of somebody's store and saying, I'm selling that same thing right over there at my store. That's just something you don't do. And I told that Reverend Dream quite a few times. to quit doing that. But he wouldn't quit. And he was pestering Grandma. Come to my channel. Like whole time he's like talking about come to my channel, My channel, my channel, my channel. He's trying to get Grandma over there on his channel. And I mean, Grandma, she don't chat. I mean, I don't even know what the big deal is. I wrote you a song. And Grandma does what she wants to do. Even if I tell her something, she still does what she wants to do. I mean, I might tell her something, but she does what she wants to do. You gotta get me something for the headache. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what makes people with channels like turn against you. They will. I run across somebody last night. I was looking at videos. Like some nights I'll, just listen to music, look, and then sometimes I'll do like what I doing last night, just looking at random videos. And I seen somebody that blocked me on their channel. And I ain't seen them in a long time. Mama knows who they are. Grandma likes to watch stuff that gets on her nerves. Or y'all like that? She'll watch people that gets on her nerves. And I seen a video they done 10 days ago. They didn't have 700 views. And I do know they was doing a lot better. When they blocked me, I didn't ever go back, And I didn't watch much then. But I would watch every now and then, But their channel's going down. I mean, 700 views 10 days ago, and they was, getting 1,500 or 2,500 views. They was in cahoots with a big channel. Them's also the people like, I'll tell you why they blocked me. Let's see, like for one thing, y'all, living without electricity ain't no joke. And they was living in this camper. And you don't know if people live in a camper. I think, I think probably half of what you see on YouTube is a lie. Myself, but I was asking about his generator, and a generator is not cheaper than electricity. You know, paying the power company. And I asked like a question like that, and they blocked me, boy. Hey there, L. And I seen power lines there, yo. I mean, I don't think they off grid. They was claiming they didn't have power, but I think they did. And grandma might be watching by now, y'all, but grandma's some man and woman that both talk at the same time. That you're always talking about. They do as a man and a woman, they talk at the same time. A lot. The guy thinks he's smarter than the woman, and he is. But like he don't know how bad he hurts himself by trying to hush her up. And I mean, people smart. And they can tell, that like what he's doing to the woman. And I mean, the woman ain't that smart. But like, you ain't doing yourself no favor by getting on to the woman like she ain't got good sense on YouTube. I I try to let Tammy have a free mind. Also, what I say to Tammy matters. She told me. She told me that, a few years ago. What I say matters. So I try not to. I try to let her go with it. I mean, I don't want to mess her up. Saying, no, do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. That's what that guy is doing it, but he's doing it in front of an audience. Which ain't no good thing on YouTube. I mean, the woman gets on mama's nerves, but I kind of like the woman. Oh, but I'm like that. You don't have to be on a high totem pole for me to like you. And I can tell that woman's been through a lot in her life. I've heard her talking, about like being in the hospital for 2 weeks, like her mind, her mind was like, I don't remember y'all's like a nervous breakdown or just some mental stuff. But she was out there trying to hammer a nail in a tree, and they just come up there, just jumping on her. Like she's stupid. She was holding the hammer up real close to like the way a beginner does, whenever they hammering. Somebody's been hammering their whole life. They all the way back off of that hammers on that handle as far as they can get. But like somebody, you hand the hammer to a youngin or somebody ain't never hammered, they'll choke up close to the hammer part. Man, he's just getting all over her ass. And I hated it for her, You know, needed me to go over there, man, like, why you treating your best friend like a dog? And she's not like that about him. She thinks he's God. That's the way she feels about him. And man, he's just getting all over. She can't say nothing right. She can't do nothing right. She's talking at the wrong time. She's talking on top of him. She's saying stuff he don't think is important. Hey, Brenda Jordan. I've been up all night, Brenda. I just don't like that kind of stuff. Whether it's man or woman. Just beating them down. And then they think so much of you. And man, I've told y'all about this quite a few times. My buddy sit there and accuse his girlfriend. And I was looking at her and while he was accusing her, she was shaking her head no. Like scared. And I didn't say nothing. But we left and went down to the boat landing or something. And he said, "Did you see her when I accused her?" I said, "Yeah, why'd you do that?" That man's about lost all his friends with his mouth. and I mean, the older you get, the more you realize stuff. And you realize there's mean people out there. There's people that is mean to your kids. That'll treat your youngins bad. Like, boy, I would straighten up somebody about my youngins there. And done it quite a few times. I don't reckon, you know, here's what I'm trying to say. Everybody that is high class, it don't make them bad. But it seems like a good many high class people is bad. And I just don't care for them kind of people. And I mean, I don't care who they are. I mean, I'll just lay back, stand there and watch them like just make a fool out of themselves. There was a man that like out in this town. I don't really know how he got uh, where he is. But I mean, I played poker with him before. He's talking loud. He's talking to the high society people, during the poker game. We didn't play for quarters, y'all. You, you had to have money to play. And like I sit there like listening to his mouth. And like he's just making a fool out of himself. And I went over to one of my high society friends' house one night. It's kind of along in that group of people. I said, why in the hell does everybody like that man? In this people's house I was at, his wife spoke up and said, they don't. She knew him too. And I mean, I just don't. I just don't. I don't fit in. with that. And I mean, I don't want to fit in. Matter of fact, one of my buddies that, I told you he got it to making $5 or $6 million a year. He went with this man I'm talking about. That was real loud at the poker game and everything, and he's real loud everywhere he goes. He went with him too. They was having some kind of a hunt. And my buddy told me, he said, man, once we got up there, he seen somebody else. And they started hanging around with them. I said, he did. Now, what kind of stuff is that? You go somewhere with somebody you think you're friends with, and they get around some people a little bit higher class, and they start hanging around with them. And this same buddy I'm talking about, he got kind of big time there. He was cooking for the police. Y'all, I mean, the police wasn't exactly our friend when we was young. They wasn't our friend at all. I said, man, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing, y'all? What are you doing? You, I mean, are you trying to buy friendship? What the hell are you doing? And on my video that I done on this channel, when I was telling y'all about, I gave y'all a really bad example about if you was in love with a man and then you found out it was a woman. I really probably shouldn't have said found out it's a woman. And that was just an example. I mean, what if you found out, you fell in love and you found out they done been in prison 5 times? It probably wouldn't change nothing once you're in love. You can fall in love in 3 days. And also, I remembered something else. I was talking about like how to know if somebody's conning you, you know, tell them you signed the deed over to your son and you give all your money to charity. You don't want nobody to love you because you got money. And like I was talking about a minute ago, I asked my buddies, man, what the hell are you doing? Cooking. I mean, like cooking dinner for the police. And I mean, it's like buying friendship. He drank and drove, smoked pot, all to this day. He's buying friendship. And I mean, I know all them policemen and stuff. I just, I don't get it. Hell, that's as bad as like, that's in a way as bad as somebody loving you because you got money. You know, Tammy just got back from vacation. I reckon you call it vacation. I don't really call it a vacation. I don't really call it a vacation as you gone a week. But like, is any of y'all, I'm looking at chat now. You inviting them, you, or inviting them to go on vacation with you. But they ain't never inviting you for a damn thing. Any of y'all ever seen that? Y'all got me? Hey, Brenda, that's my whole life story. You inviting them to go have fun with you, and they come and have the good time, and they gone. I've done that a lot, though. I've done that a lot. Boy, you wouldn't believe how many people I've took to Lake Sinclair. You'd say there ain't no way. There ain't no way you took that many people to Lake Sinclair. But I have. And not a whole lot of them, and I paid for everything. And I mean, I didn't mind it though, cause I was making good money. And I know that, like, I know how it is to be just getting by. And I mean, I can afford it, but like, they forget. They forget, y'all. That's right, Pamela. And don't think I ain't thought about all that. And y'all, hell, I don't want to go fishing. Hey, Miss Carol. But I've done that a lot, boy. Don't think White Earth don't stay in touch with me now. I might go a while without seeing him and everything. But he stays in touch with me. And he hadn't never stopped since I met him. I don't really understand everybody. I don't understand why I've helped people and their youngins and turn around and talk about me like a damn dog. I'm trying to get over that. I am trying to get over that. And like, I don't understand about Stephen. There's so many people trying to mess him up. It ain't even funny. I don't, I don't get it. I mean, there's women doing it. It's laying down at night in the bed with a man. Figure that one out. Y'all, women that's in their 40s, and maybe, even 50s. Now, I ain't trying to say a bunch of y'all as men. 'Cause, I truly believe like a lot of y'all don't. You used to, but like don't no more. It's just something I told Stephen a long time ago. I said, you see that woman walking in the street? You see that woman walking down the street? You see that woman walking down the street? I said, there's a man somewhere. I told him that a long time ago. He ain't never forgot it. And it's true. It don't necessarily mean you. And that don't necessarily mean everybody. Oh, I know probably a bunch of y'all that's by yourself. Probably want to be by yourself. You can get used to that. I don't mind being by myself. It don't bother me being by myself. But Tammy, uh, I like Tammy being around. Tammy don't get on my nerves none. The video I done the other night, I was talking about Celine Dion and her husband. And I was talking about he was conning her, laughing at all her jokes. And he was her everything. And then when I seen him laughing at everything she said, he wouldn't even say nothing. He wasn't even saying nothing. He's just laughing at everything she said. And she's just a normal woman, y'all. I mean, if you take all the fame away, she's just a normal woman. just like us. And I seen her on this show one day on TV, this talk show or something or other. And they wanted her to drink a glass of water and sing with the water in her throat, holding her head back, gargling, singing. And she done it. I don't know who was the stupidest, her for doing it, and the stupid person that asked her to do it. And that's just what I say, y'all. She's just a normal woman. If you take the fame away, she's just a normal woman, just like us. I'm not no celebrity. And if I was on TV, you think they would get me to do that? Wanting her to sing that Titanic song, you know. Seems like to me, like half the world's lost their mind. I seen him one day, like, he didn't want to mess Donald Trump's hair up on TV. And he let them do it. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? They want to put their fingers in his hair and mess his hair up. I about, you know, I about don't even hardly leave the house no more. My truck out there, that little red truck, I've had the same gas in it for 4 months. Been gonna go to the store 4 months and put gas in. I keep driving down to Mama's, stuff like that, driving down to Mama's, driving over to Stevens sometimes. I about don't even hardly go to town. And I seen a woman I knew, and I actually knew her, pretty good. And she got a hamburger place in town, but I've known her my whole life, and I've been in there, like she like talking to me, and I'm talking to her and stuff. And me and Steven stopped in there to get some hamburgers. It's little hamburgers, like crystal size of crystals. That's why I say we stopped in. He went inside and was getting the hamburgers, and I seen this woman that was the owner. She was sitting out there talking to some people under this umbrella, like little stand, like right beside the street. Had an umbrella, and I seen her look over there 2 or 3 times, and I decided to get out of the truck and go speak to her. And I did, and she said hey and everything, but like I felt like she thought I was trying to pick her up. I was like, she didn't talk to me but a second. And I just turned around and went back to the truck. If you don't speak to people, you're stuck up. Women, I don't know why women think you're trying to mess with them. If you speak to them, I just about don't hardly even acknowledge women. Unless I know them good. But there was a little something to what I was talking about there. There was a little something there. I don't. She's never acted like that before. But it's been a few years since I've seen her. Her daddy used to own that place, and I knew him good too. Some of them people like that, that can be pretty high class, but you wouldn't know they was high class. And some people's high class, and you don't count to them. And I reckon I've always kind of had a hang up about that. I might have. I might have had a hang up about that. But I generally don't like them kind of people too good. I'm talking about I don't care if we used to be old friends or something. Just listening to them talking, you know, they different. But you can talk to somebody like me in person, and you won't hear me talking about I got this and I got that. Hell, what little bit me and Tammy do got, hell, man, we worked our whole life. We all know people like that, like what I'm talking about. And there's probably a pretty good chance you feel exactly like me. They more important than you are. I prefer just to stay little video. I will be your friend and be a good friend to you. If you're talking all that stuff, I start getting turned off quick. I told y'all about a man I talked to that was a millionaire. I didn't know who he was. I knew of him, but I didn't know that's who I was talking. I ain't never seen him before. But his sons went to school with me and stuff. I had a bunch of sons. Them sons, they wasn't like him, or they ain't like him. He was. You know, that man, that man was a multi-millionaire. And I didn't ask him who he was or nothing, because, I mean, like, I just don't think about asking somebody what their name is. I don't care what their name is. I thought he was just as broke as I was. I did think I was just as broke as he was just as broke as I was. I don't know what he was doing over there. You can go up the river, and I know where his land starts, and I know where it ends. And you can ride a long ways up that river. And all that land be his boys. So I do got some high class friends, y'all, that, is like normal. And I went to put an antenna up. Well, I don't know what the hell the man wanted the antenna for. He got this real big construction company in Dublin. Still does. And I mean, I don't know how many employees. But he's like down to earth, just like us, like Grandma. And this millionaire I'm talking about, I told you he had a bunch of sons. And one of them was, you ever seen them gas trucks? Like got gasoline in it? The son was stealing the gas. I'm talking about the whole thing. And taking it to somebody else and selling it. I think it was like them medium-sized trucks. Not like a tractor trailer truck, but like one of them medium-sized. You'll see them at gas stations and stuff. Hey there, Terry. Yep, that's right, Terry. Man, his son was stealing. Ain't no telling how much that man was paying for that gas. And his son was stealing it, paying for that white stuff. And I think they all done it. Probably still do. And them boys wasn't like that when they was in school. I mean, Tammy knows them. I know them. They, I mean, they still think the world of Tammy. And every one of them ain't the same way. I talked to a woman the other night. She said, I don't want no money. She said, it ain't nothing but a problem. If you give me $10 million, y'all, I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know why people crave money so much. I mean, I swear I don't know what I would. I mean, I don't know what I would do. Hey, I might would build a damn building and put some of this junk we got in it. I might would do that. But I mean, I don't want to go to Las Vegas. I don't. And I mean, I want to wear these pajamas and my bedroom shoes. joke and stuff about a new truck and all that. He got that right, Bam. James said, "Don't you think you need to wear your shoes?" Like I wear them old red bedroom shoes. She washed them one time about, and it took me forever to get them broke back in. After she washed them, put them in the dryer. This house right here, me and Tammy live in, it's a double wide trailer. But the good thing about this double wide trailer, it's extra wide. You don't see them like this all the time. It's extra wide. I don't even know if they even still make them like that, but it's extra. It's an extra wide. But I mean, we like this place. I don't want no new house. Don't want to pay for no new truck, and don't want to pay for no new car. I guess I might would probably. If I did get $10 million, I might would go buy Team a brand new car. I might would do that. But I just don't know. I don't idolize money. Now money's necessary. I guarantee you, I ain't the only one or we ain't, me and Tammy is not the only one that's had it rough, money wise. My God, we have. Believe me. But I paid our way out roofing. But there's nothing wrong with traveling. I even wish, 'cause I know that like some of y'all talking about, ain't nothing wrong with traveling. No, you know what I mean? Me and Tammy just don't care nothing about it. Grandma don't either. And Grandma's always been like that. Stephen will get out and go do stuff. He don't, he take it or leave it, he don't sit around planning trips. AJ. But, you know what I mean? I probably wished I did want to get out and do stuff. I've near about done it all. I have near about done it all at one time or another. Just go down there to that Savannah Beach, boy. Ever truck loaded with people. We go during the week. Tammy's working. My brother went up there. he'd go with us sometime, and we was out there on the beach, and he went missing. And he could see us. Well, we didn't know where he was. I reckon after he drank him a few drinks and stuff, he was over at some place there, drinking him some mixed drinks. He stood up and started hollering and stuff, letting me know where he's at. Probably seen me looking around. And we had chairs and stuff on the back of the truck. I was driving down the interstate. He'd throw a chair out. I'd keep right on going, and he'd throw another chair out. I stopped the truck. I said, "Why are you throwing them chairs out?" I said, "If you don't quit throwing them chairs out, I'm going to whip your ass." Right back to the truck. There went another. Well, I don't know what in the world he was doing, throwing them chairs out. And hell, he wasn't crazy. I don't know why he was throwing them chairs out. Telling him you'd whoop his butt. You was like wasting your time. Because he didn't care about that. I ain't never seen nobody exactly like him. So he was like pretty rowdy, at times. He was both. He was rowdy at times, and then at times he was like real easygoing. I went out to the salvage yard to take something back, and that guy that worked there, it was his daddy's place, and I had just bought a transmission from him, and the transmission didn't work. It was used, a used car place. And I took that transmission back. He said, I said, "Man, I just gave you the damn money." He stole the money from his daddy. He took that money and put it in his pocket. He wound up telling me that because I was like about to get pissed out there. And he said, "Come back tomorrow and I'll give you your money back." And I started pulling off my brothers in the back of the truck. My brother said, "That's right. We'll be back tomorrow, and we don't want to have to whoop nobody's ass." And I mean, them guys out there, like, got huffy and like, like running up there to the truck, like they was gonna do something. I stopped the truck and got out. I said, "That's right. We don't want to have to whoop nobody's ass." Hey, y'all, I mean, I didn't play. My brother didn't either, but he wasn't like strong and he wasn't like me. I mean, I never lost a fight. But they simmered down a little bit when I got out of that truck. Yeah, he's got me into a mess a few times, boy. Quite a few times. Well, like, I mean, I don't want to be sitting here bragging, y'all, but like, and I would end it now. I don't even care to talk about that stuff too much, really, cause I think it's stupid. Yeah, I do. But he's always getting into it with somebody. That son going to have grandma anymore. He was like that too, T. I don't know, voice. It's something about me. I don't want to get started. I don't want to get started. And if you out there in the world very much, you around drinking and stuff, some fool or something, somebody would say something. My brother didn't help things a whole lot. He was a hell there. I never even tried to push anyone's buttons, but for some reason I did. White Earth's kind of bad about getting into it. But I mean, it's the strangest thing, about him. Oh, they are, people know White Earth, and he don't play. And he'll stand there and talk to you just the way I'm talking right now. But it seems like this is with men, y'all. I don't even know if I can make you understand, but men will get around him and try to talk like they are White Earth. I mean, they just a little overdoing it. I don't know why. they want to get around him and act tough. And I checked him out a bunch of times, and it's them. It's not him. It's them. Yeah, uh, that joker don't play now. He don't play, boy. Like I've talked to him a bunch of times, boy. Yeah, I told y'all about one time, he's coming home from work. There's a place in Dublin, a beer joint. You know, uh, it ain't even, it ain't even open no more. I call it Slicks. And he'd be like coming home from work every day. And he was seeing this guy's vehicle out there every day. And that vehicle, the man that owned that vehicle, used to be married to his wife. And he wasn't paying child support, but he's at the beer joint every day. And I don't know if y'all ever done it very much, and I ain't done it very much myself, y'all, but uh it's it's expensive to drink beer in there at them beer joints. It's expensive. Y'all know how it is. Well, I reckon you do. Like you can go buy a bottle of liquor and make your drinks at home, but if you go to a restaurant and order a drink, it'll like be $12. But he done got about tired of seeing that man there. And he went in there and jumped on him. I said, "What did he do to you?" He said he smiled at me. And he about doing him in. Y'all know what I'm talking about doing him in. He was like going live wide earth 20 years. And he like to, son, like, he like to messed him up, boy. He did mess him up. But he like to put him in the ground. And like, he broke 5 bones in that man's face. And I bet you somebody had to stop him then. Because he won't stop. I bet you the man don't never smile at him again. But he was mad about him being at that beer joint every day, but wasn't paying no child support. And they was going to give him 20 years. And Wyatt Earp knew somebody knew the DA. Hey, some people go to jail and some people don't, y'all. And that man went up there and talked to the DA. and got them to drop the case. They was going to give him 20 years. Real dangerous. He's real dangerous. Real dangerous. Talked to him quite a few times, you know. But I mean, somebody always opens their mouth at him. And then if you didn't know that about him, you wouldn't know it by the way he talks and stuff. But your reputation don't go behind you, it goes in front of you. He might not know them, but they knew him. That was a bad time for whatever. Yeah, it was. I said, man, what are you thinking? I don't even want to talk about it too much, but and I'm same way, y'all. I mean, I'm about as bad. I just smarter now. 'Cause I am not scared. Well, I'll be laying there sometimes, open my eyes wide open, just like happen to think about something. Yeah. And it seems like I do that more and more, you know. Like think about stuff, you know. Hey, I've almost got killed a bunch of times. My mom would only know about it. Just lucky, you know. It's lucky. Just lucky I didn't. Tammy don't even know about it, you know. But I was about one of them wild ones. Yeah, Ron. That's about what I'm talking about there, living life. That's the way people are doing him. You know, at them mud bogs and stuff. They go, they got them mud bogs. I remember walking back to the car, and they got on the loudspeaker and said, I don't care if any of y'all Dublin people ever come back. Dublin is full of rowdy people. You could take us up there to Washington, where that National Guard is, and we would calm that place down, son. I'm telling you, it wouldn't take a bunch of us to do it neither. There's a lot of people in Dublin's like that. I ain't joking, boy. Hey, you go up there to a rock concert in Macon, somebody be up there fighting, and then like hell, it'd be somebody from damn Dublin. You know, you'd find out it was somebody from Dublin. You know, one of them would be from Dublin. Just a rowdy bunch of people. That, you know, one of my buddies, he went to Soperton, and he like stood out there in front of 100 people. You know, like, come on, anybody wanna? He couldn't even get nobody. They wouldn't even nobody even walk out there. Hey, just as good a fella as you ever seen. Hey, one of my buddies. But then that's mostly all the kind of buddies I got. You know, they all like that. I don't know why that is. Yeah. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all coming in here. I'm surprised we got as many people as we did get. Uh, I probably will get on there tonight, y'all. I don't know what time, but I got stuff I didn't say today that I've already, like thought out and everything. Always something to talk about. I think like I've about made my mind up to like talk about us as retired people. Not that yeah, I mean that's what we are, is why. And I don't reckon there's no need to get on here and talk like y'all 20 years old or something. And I'm retired too. Like talk to the audience. Oh, you know, Grandma went live, the other day sometime, and Stephen was building this swing thing that, the thing to hold the swing. He didn't mean to run into Grandma's time, but he did. And he had 200 people watching him, and Grandma had her normal amount. I mean, he had 200 people. When Grandma was live, he had 200 people. And, and Grandma had her usual amount. I mean, I wouldn't have never really thought that that would have been possible. But I guess it is. Well, yeah, I mean, I never know when I'm going to get on. And I didn't even know this morning I was going to get on here, whenever I did. I decided a few minutes, like 15 minutes before I decided to go live, I decided to get on here. Not for no particular reason. Might be just what I was telling y'all. Get on here to have somebody to talk to. I ain't hardly talked to nobody while Tammy's been gone, and I didn't hardly talk to her much yesterday. They didn't get back at 2 o'clock. And then I was asleep, about near about all day. Which I usually don't do, but I did yesterday. I was tired. Every once in a while it kinda gets caught up with me. Oh, y'all, I appreciate y'all getting on here, and we're gonna try to get Southern Ideas going a little better, get us some chatters in here and stuff. Get plenty of chat going. And I guess Stephen will be live this morning. I mean, I'm sure he probably will one time or another, and he might already be on that TT. I don't know. I don't know, but I know I was heard him when he left to take Bentley to school. I reckon we'll just see. Tammy won't be live till tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure that I'll be on there tonight. Just to go live for y'all. I know y'all like to get on here and chat and stuff. I ain't doing it for me all that much. It's especially not money wise. But I do enjoy getting on here and talking, like when I feel like it. But not for the money too much. 'Cause it just ain't there, boy. It just ain't there. Appreciate y'all. Bye bye.